Welcome, children. For the sixth chapter of your geography, the name of the topic is Major Landforms of the Earth. You must have seen some of the landform features as shown in the figure 6.1 below. You will notice that the surface of the Earth is not the same everywhere. The Earth has an infinite variety of landforms. Some parts of the lithosphere may be rugged and some flat. Children, you must have seen some of these landform features, which is shown here as under in figure 6.1. You will notice that the surface of the earth is not the same in everywhere. You'll find quite different there. The earth has an infinite variety of landforms. Infinite means limitless or endless variety of landforms. You'll find some parts of the lithosphere may uneven surface and some are flat. These landforms are a result of two processes. You will be amazed to know that the ground you are standing on is slowly moving. Within the earth, a continuous movement is taking place. The first or the internal process leads to the upliftment and sinking of the earth's surface at several places. Here, these landforms are a result of two processes. These landforms, it is because of these two processes. You will greatly surprised, amazed means surprised, to know that the ground where you are standing on is slowly moving. Within the earth, a continuous movement is taking place. So within our earth, a continuous movement it is taking place. The first or the internal process, it leads to the upliftment and sinking of the earth's surface at several places. Upliftment means to lift up or raise. To lift up or raise. And sinking means go down below the surface of something. Boys, have a look towards the right margin of your book in this space. Do you know? A hill is a land surface that rises higher than the surrounding area. Generally, a steep hill with an elevation of more than 600 meters is termed as a mountain. So, see here, the height. You must know it, a steep hill with an elevation of more than 600 meters. When the height it becomes like this, at the time it is known as a mountain. Name some mountains with a height of more than 8,000 meters. So here Mount Everest, K2, Kanchenjunga, Makalu, Dhaulagiri, etc. These are the name of the mountains you can write here. The second or the external process is the continuous wearing down and rebuilding of the land surface. The wearing away of the earth's surface is called erosion. Mark this one. What is erosion, boys? The wearing away of the earth's surface is called erosion. If anybody asks you what is erosion, you have to answer like this. The surface is being lowered by the process of erosion and rebuilt by the process of deposition. These two processes are carried out by running water, ice, and wind. Broadly, we can group different landforms depending on elevation and slope as mountains, plateaus, and plains. Here, the second process you find that is called external process. It is the continuous wearing down and a rebuilding. Both process it goes on the land surface. The wearing away of the earth's surface is called erosion. The surface is being lowered by the process of erosion. Means when it eroded, soil or mud used to run away from that place, and rebuilt also happened by the process. It is known as deposition. Pile up. Deposition means pile up, the action of deposing. These two processes are carried out by running water, ice, and wind. So you see this erosion and deposition. These two processes, these are carried out by running water, ice, and wind. Broadly, we can group different landforms depending on elevation. Elevation means the action or fact of raising or being raised to a higher or more important level. So, and slope as mountains, plateaus, and plains. So these are the landforms, different landforms here. Now let us discuss one by one. Mountains. A mountain is any natural elevation of the earth's surface. The mountains may have a small summit and a broad base. It is considerably higher than the surrounding area. Some mountains are even higher than the clouds. As you go higher, the climate becomes colder. Here, a mountain is any natural elevation of the earth's surface. The mountains may have a small summit. Summit means the highest point of a hill or mountain, and a broad base. It is considerably higher than the surrounding area. Other small, that means hills, you will find that surrounded that mountain. Some mountains are even higher than the clouds, clouds which you can see in the sky. Some mountains are there which are higher than clouds. As you go higher, the climate becomes colder. So if you go higher and higher, the climate it becomes colder. You know the limit of year it presents. So it depends on that. That means the climate it depends on that. In some mountains, there are permanently frozen rivers of ice. They are called glaciers. What are glaciers? If I ask, you have to answer like this. There are some mountains you cannot see as they are under the sea. Because of harsh climate, less people live in the mountain areas. Since the slopes are steep, less land is available for farming. In some mountains, you'll find they are permanently frozen. Frozen means turn into ice because of cold. Frozen ice rivers of ice you will find there. They are called glaciers. There are some mountains you cannot see as they are under the sea. Under the sea, that means mountains is presence there. You cannot see. Because of harsh climate, less people live in the mountain areas. climate it is not suitable for us. That's why there's people they live in the mountain areas. Since the slopes are steep, less land is available for farming. So in the mountainous region also you see because of slopes or that means steep slopes there. That's why less land it is found for farming. Mountains may be arranged in a line known as range. Many mountain systems consist of a series of parallel ranges extending over hundreds of kilometers. The Himalayas, the Alps, and the Andes are mountain ranges of Asia, Europe, and South America, respectively. Figure 5.1. Mountains vary in their heights and shape. Mountains, it may be arranged here in a line known as range. Here, many mountain system it consists of a series of parallel ranges. It is consists of a group of parallel ranges which are extending over hundreds of kilometers. The Himalayas, the Alps, and the Andes are mountain ranges of Asia, Europe, and South America, respectively. Mountains vary in their heights and shape. They are different in their heights and shape. All are not same. See, do you know Mauna Kea, Hawaii, in the Pacific Ocean, is an undersea mountain. It is higher than Mount Everest, being 10,205 meters high. So here you see, this is higher than even our Mount Everest, boys. There are three types of mountains: fall mountains, block mountains, and the volcanic mountains. The Himalayan mountains and the Alps are young fall mountains with rugged relief and high conical peaks. The Aravalli Range in India is one of the oldest fall mountain system in the world. The range has considerably worn down due to the processes of erosion. The Appalachians in North America and the Ural Mountains in Russia have rounded features and low elevation. They are very old fall mountains. So here in this paragraph we find there are three types of mountains. So if it asks how many types of mountains are there, you have to say there are three types of mountains. What are those? They are fall mountains, block mountains, and the volcanic mountains. The Himalayan mountains and the Alps are young fall mountains with a rugged relief and high conical peaks. But in your higher classes, you will learn how were these Himalayas formed, and this Himalaya mountain, it is a young fall mountains with rugged relief and high conical peaks. The Aravalli range in India, Vindhyas, Aravalli, okay, these are the ranges in India. They are the oldest mountain. Remember, okay. The Aravalli Range in India is one of the oldest fall mountain system in the world. The range has considerably worn down due to the processes of erosion. Because of erosion, they become lower. The Appalachians in North America and the Ural Mountains in Russia have rounded features. So these two, you see, Appalachians and Ural Mountains, they have rounded features and low elevation. They are very old fall mountains. Block mountains. Now let us see the second one, that is block mountains. Block mountains are created when large areas are broken and displaced vertically. The uplifted blocks are termed as horsts, and the lowered blocks are called graben. The Rhine Valley and the Vosges mountain in Europe are examples of such mountain system. Locate them on the world map in the atlas and find out some more examples of this type of landforms. See here in the block mountains. Okay, and then water horse, graben, underline this, and you must know it. Volcanic mountains, where volcanic eruptions took place, boys. Volcanic mountains are formed due to volcanic activity. Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa and Mount Fujiyama in Japan are examples of such mountains. See, volcanic mountains, these are formed, it is because of volcanic activity, volcanic work, okay, volcanic eruption. Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa and Mount Fujiyama in Japan are examples of such mountains. Location, you must know it, okay. Where is this Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Fujiyama? You must know it, name of the places, and that means name of this mountain also. Mountains are very useful. The mountains are a storehouse of water. Many rivers have their source in the glaciers in the mountains. Reservoirs are made and the water is harnessed for the use of people. Water from the mountains is also used for irrigation and generation of hydroelectricity. But you see, mountains, these are very useful to mankind. Okay, the mountains are a storehouse of water. It is because of mountains are storehouse of water. Many rivers have their source in the glaciers in the mountains. When you see Ganga, Brahmaputra rivers, Yamuna rivers, these are, that means, the rivers which we can see, it is because of glaciers. From Himalayas, this glacier flows, and we can see these rivers of our India. Many rivers have their source in the glaciers in the mountains. Reservoirs are made and the water is harnessed for the use of people. Reservoirs are made by people. It is because of using of water for the people. Okay, people use this water. Water from the mountains is also used for irrigation and generation of hydroelectricity. In order to utilize this water for generating hydroelectricity and for irrigation, we use this water from mountains. The river valleys and terraces are ideal for cultivation of crops. Mountains have a rich variety of flora and fauna. Flora and fauna. Flora means plant of a particular region, and fauna means, you see here, flora and flora and fauna. Here, boys, you must know the importance of mountains here. Okay, several importance. It may ask sometimes. Give any three importance of mountains. Here you have to answer. You have to write these points. Okay. The forest provide fuel, fodder, shelter, and other products like gum, resins, etc. Forest it provide us such thing. Resins means a partially dried grape. Mountains provide an idyllic site. Idyllic means extremely happy. Okay, it provide extremely happy site for tourists. Tourists, several tourists used to visit to see that or enjoy the beautiful scenery of mountains. They visit the mountains for their scenic beauty. Several sports like paragliding, hang gliding, river rafting, and skiing are popular in the mountains. So you see, sports such as paragliding, hang gliding, river rafting, and skiing, these are popular in the mountains. Can you name some places in the Himalayas associated with these sports? You do it yourself, this one, boys. Now let us see plateaus. A plateau is an elevated flatland. It is a flat top tableland standing above the surrounding area. Underline it. It may ask what is a plateau. Answer you have to write. A plateau is an elevated flatland. Okay, somewhat higher than valley and lower than hill. It is a flat topped tableland, like a table, that type of land, standing above the surrounding area. A plateau may have one or more sides with steep slopes. The height of plateaus often varies from few hundred meters to several thousand meters. The height of these plateaus often it varies. They are different from few hundred meters up to several thousand meters. Plateaus like mountains may be young or old. The Deccan Plateau in India is one of the oldest plateaus. The word Deccan means south. The southern plateau in India is one of the oldest plateau. The East African Plateau in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, and the Western Plateau of Australia are other examples. So these are other examples of this type of plateau. The Tibet Plateau is the highest plateau in the world. Come on, underline this one also. Which is the highest plateau in the world? If it asks, you have to say the Tibet Plateau. It is the highest plateau in the world with a height of 4,000 to 6,000 meters above the mean sea level. I already told you. Elevation, it used to measure from the sea level. So its height is height of 4,000 to 6,000 meters above the mean sea level. Plateaus are very useful because they are rich in mineral deposits. You see, importance of plateaus you find here. You can mark this one also. Plateaus are very useful. It is because of they are rich in mineral deposits. Okay, several types of mineral deposits you can find there. That's why plateaus are very useful to us. As a result, many of the mining areas in the world are located in the plateau areas because of mineral deposits. So many mining areas in the world are located in the plateau areas. The African plateau is famous for gold and diamond mining. African plateau it is known for gold and diamond mining. In India, huge reserves of iron, coal, and manganese are found in the Chotanagpur Plateau in our country, India. Huge reserves of iron, coal, and manganese are found in our Chotanagpur Plateau. In the plateau areas, there may be several waterfalls as the river falls from a great height. In India, the Hundru Falls in the Chotanagpur Plateau on the river Subarnarekha and the Jog Falls in Karnataka are examples of such waterfalls. The lava plateaus are rich in black soil and are fertile and good for cultivation. Lava plateau, you must remember, uh, these are rich in black soil, and you must know this soil is suitable for growing cotton crops. They are fertile and good for cultivation. Many plateaus have scenic spots and are of great attraction to tourists. So, several tourists also used to visit in order to see the beautiful scenery of different plateaus. Now, let us see plains. Plains are large stretches of flat land. They are generally not more than 200 meters above mean sea level. We have learned about mountains, then plateaus, now plains. Plains are large stretches of flatland. They are flatland. They are generally not more than 200 meters above mean sea level. Some plains are extremely level. Okay. Others may be slightly rolling and undulating. Undulating means here longer or wider without tearing or breaking. Most of the plains are formed by rivers and their tributaries. Tributaries means branches of rivers. River used to form different branches, which are known as tributaries. Boys. Then, sorry here, rolling and undulating. Undulating means here having a smoothly rising and falling form or outline. Most of the plains are formed by rivers and their tributaries. So, most of the plains, these are formed by rivers and their tributaries. The rivers flow down the slopes of mountains and erode them. When that means rivers it flow down at a time. River used to flow very fastly, and as a result of that, current force it is very high there. That's why it used to erode them, whatever that means it meet on its way. They carry forward the eroded material. Then they deposit their load consisting of stones, sand, and silt along their courses and in their valleys. So, yes, that means water it flows, it eroded material, there are several materials. Then they used to deposit their load consisting of stones, sands, and silt along their courses and in their valleys. It is from these deposits that plains are formed. So, this is how plains are formed. Generally, plains are very fertile. Construction of transport network is easy. Thus, these plains are very thickly populated regions of the world. See here, it can ask, why are plains generally populated or thickly populated? Why are plains very thickly populated? Reasons it has given, plains are very fertile. Soil are very fertile, crops can grow very luxuriantly, and construction of transport network is also easy on the plains. Thus, these plains are very thickly populated regions of the world. Underline these two sentences, boys. Some of the largest plains made by the rivers are found in Asia and North America. For example, in Asia, these plains are formed by the Ganga and the Brahmaputra in India and Yangtze in China. So Ganga Brahmaputra plain, remember boys, this plain is very fertile for growing crops, for construction work. It is very suitable. That's why this part have very thickly populated area. Likewise, that means in Yangtze of China also. Plains are the most useful areas for human habitation. There is great concentration of people as more flat land is available for building houses as well as for cultivation. See, plains are most useful areas for mankind, for our settlement. There is great concentration of people. It is because of more flat land is available for building houses as well as for cultivation. Because of fertile soils, the land is highly productive for cultivation. As soil is very fertile, so it can give us good harvest. In India too, the Indo-Gangetic plains are the most densely populated regions of the country. Remember, in our country, in India, the Indo-Gangetic plains are most densely populated regions of the country. Landforms and the people. Humans have been living on different kinds of landforms. On different kinds of landforms, that means human beings they are living in different ways. Life in difficult Life is difficult in mountainous areas. Plains provide much better conditions. Life it is difficult in mountainous areas because of a steep slope and lack of soil fertility, boys. That's why in the mountainous region, population also very less. Plains provide much better conditions. It is easy to grow crops, build a house or a road in a plain than a mountain. See, comparing mountain with plain, you can understand read this paragraph nicely. Can you point out some differences in the ways people live in different kinds of landforms? Sometimes natural calamities such as earthquakes, volcanic eruption, storms, and floods cause widespread destruction. Very widely it damages. It caused by these natural calamities such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, floods, etc. Huge loss of life and property takes place. By creative awareness about such incidences, we may lower the risks. Here, huge loss of life and property of the people. It takes place because of these natural calamities. So, by uh, creative awareness, by giving awareness to the people about such incidences, we may lower the risks. We can save the life and property of many people. You may find out from your own surroundings in how many ways we use the land and water. Quite often we use the land in a wasteful manner. For example, constructing houses on a fertile land. Similarly, we throw garbage on land or in water, making them dirty. We should avoid using such important gifts of nature in a careless manner. The available land is not only for our use, it is our duty to leave the earth a better place for future generations as well. So see here, some important points it has given here, boys. You may find out from your own surroundings in how many ways we use the land and water. Quite often we use the land in a wasteful manner. We are wasting land also, you will observe. As example, constructing houses on a fertile land. If we construct our house on a fertile land, then growing of crops, okay, we'll stop there. That means we cannot grow crops. So we are losing, that means that fertile land. Likewise, we throw garbage on land or in water, which make them dirty. We should avoid using such important gifts of nature in a careless manner. So you must remember, we must avoid it. We should stop using such important gifts of nature in a careless way. The available land is not only for our use. Okay, it is just not for, that means, us only. It is our duty, remember, to keep and take the earth a better place for our next generation as well, so that they can survive in a well manner. Boys, have a look towards the left side of your book, the left margin under the picture. Do you know Swachh Bharat Mission? Healthy mind lives in healthy body, and for a healthy body, clean environment, particularly clean water, air, and hygienic surroundings are prerequisites. It is very necessary. Okay. Swachh Bharat Mission, the government of India program, aims to achieve all these for people. Swachh Bharat Mission, which launched by government of India. It is a program which aims to achieve all this for the people. So, boys, you observe that landforms and the people here uses, how should we use land in a proper manner. We have to utilize land in a proper way. We have to keep our surroundings in a neat and clean way. So here is the end of the chapter. Thank you all.